location at Castle Bolton, my role was boom swinging. Aside from a serious lactic acid build-up in my arms, it was really good fun. We actually took extra sessions at the Northern Film School where a freelancer showed his professional techniques so we could get a really good product.
At Castle Bolton, I did all the location mixing off the mini disc recorder, which, reflecting on it, mini disc probably wasn't the best idea to go. We should have probably gone with that, but I also took care of all the paperwork because if one person did it, it kept continuity through the whole project. That, and I was the most organised and ended up being the main interaction between the Northern Film School.
At Castle Bolton, I was doing the video documentary for the weekend. It was pretty cool. I was just using a handheld DV camera for the majority of the time, running around after people and capturing shots. This not only helped sort of like tie in the track sheets and the video together, but it also just helped in general to know what we were doing and when. So when it come down to getting the final video, we had all the takes on camera, so it had made Tom's life a little bit easier. Overall, it was a really memorable experience. I really enjoyed playing a dead person with chainmail on the outside. Although it was really cold, it was still an enjoyable, fun experience.
Sound ready?
Ready?
Camera ready?
Ready?
Sound rolling?
Rolling.
Slate 8, take 3, camera rolling.
Mark it. Action. Cut!
It was a bit hairy at times when I was trying to record some crazy, very crazy nights recreating battle scenes, whilst trying to still keep them on mic.
Action.
In the studio, one of the best bits was when we needed to recreate background battle noises. Luckily enough for us, there was some students down the corridor who didn't really mind screaming in each other's faces. As for the composition side of things, I wanted to avoid going down the cliche route of period instrumentation and big orchestral scores, so I tried to combine the two. One of my favourite scenes was when Lady Warwick and Luca were mourning. On one of the first drafts, I created a separate contact map so I could recreate the sound of metal breathing. I used reverse cymbals and ADSR envelopes to create the effect of it sort of shimmering through. This was until I found the Logic Studio bank of sounds.
Hectic.
I also ended up mixing most of the sessions behind the desk in the studio, while Miles and Tom did most of the Foley work in the live room, as timing isn't really my forte. On one of the first trips up to the castle, I took some hand clap measurements in the rooms that we were going to be recording in, so I could use the impulse response utility to accurately measure the reverb times to put in Space Designer inside Logic Pro. This helped us retain the accuracy of the rooms, so for things like footsteps we used it for.
I'm so startled right now. Oh God! I'm so startled.
In the studios, I ended up being the technical coordinator, so that involved sort of getting ideas together to create sounds, putting them into practice, and then taking them to the studio so we had them ready to use. It also meant kind of making sure that everything was running smoothly with how I imagined it would go with the sounds. I really enjoyed the creative freedom because I was able to create certain sounds that you wouldn't really think of unless you're actually there in that situation. And one of the memorable sounds that sticks out in my head was the one with putting coins into a bag and slamming it around the room to make it sound like footsteps, which I ended up having to take thousands of little 1 and 2p coins out of my little collection and putting them into my pillowcase. It was a good time. I also handled the mixing stage once we finished getting all the sounds together, and most of this was done like in the studios and in the booths, but I did a lot of it at home as well because I have a MacBook and access to some KRKs, so I was just sort of ploughing away at home and getting things done and out of the way. There was a lot of Foley sounds in there, so overall there wasn't too much mixing to do, but one of the parts that was quite difficult to get on track was these footsteps that we created using as previously mentioned, using the coins in the bag. They were really difficult to sort of mix in together, so in the end we ended up using Space Designer to pull those together, and I think they ended up sounding really, really cool, and they sounded good as sort of like an underlay for what we also had for Foley. So yeah, that was really cool.
Funniest part of the project was when we was up at the castle and the assistant director picked up the wrong end of the fire poker. He was feeling that the next day.
So what happened, Chris? What
More
happened?
important than what happened is I reckon I can back roll a cigarette.
Also, making crunching sounds using the lettuce was quite cool, seeing as that was quite a unique idea for crunching of the armour.
Butchering lettuces.
Overall, this was a really challenging experience, and it kind of opened my mind up a little bit to the creative side of sound to film. You kind of had to step out of your comfort zone to get some of the things that you needed to achieve from it.
Overall, it was a great experience and I learnt a lot about studio organisation and interacting between two teams.
And one of my final roles was editing this video together. Hope it speaks for itself. All in all, it was a great project. It really outlines the trials and tests that we would experience in the industry.
Making off camera, ready.